I say we're gonna hop onto the interiors and go and check out to see the big differences, because this is, I think, is a significant differences between the 2022 and the 2018, the previous generation in general, is the big interior changes. Okay, everyone, starting out on the 2018, let's hop in. So we do have keyless access right here, because as you can see, the key is already in the car and on, so just check that out afterwards. So in this one, of course, we have the previous generation BMW interiors. Now, this is one of the bigger places that I think the upgraded 2 Series definitely stepped up over this generation. This one does have a really nice black and red leather combination going on. Door panels, pretty typical of an old BMW style wheel, the older switchgear, the older kind of door handle style, this older trim piece going on here. But generally, I think I love this steering wheel way more than the new steering wheel personally, but that's just a personal opinion. So let's hop right in. Okay guys, so we're in the 2018 BMW M240i right here. I'm just gonna turn the air down a little bit so you guys can hear me a little bit better. Awesome. So this is definitely a last generation BMW interior for sure. We have the older iDrive system with a smaller screen. It is not a, oh, it is a touchscreen. Is it a touchscreen? Yeah, it is a touchscreen, but it is definitely smaller. Of course, you can still use the iDrive controller down here as well. We have the older style BMW center console, the older style BMW shifter, yada, yada, yada. That kind of theme is going to continue throughout the rest of the interior, specifically with the gauges as well. And I personally, now this is a personal opinion, everyone has a different opinion on this, I like these gauges more than the new BMW kind of live cockpit they're doing with the hockey sticks going around the sides. I think this is a kind of better, just more traditional look. And if BMW did the live cockpit better, I would have liked them. But I know in the new upcoming iX and the i4 with their new iDrive 8 system, the kind of gigantic glass screen they're doing, they finally kind of fixed that a little bit, but it still has those hockey sticks, so I'm just not a fan of. I wish they just did like a digital gauge. But regardless, I think these are really clean. These are really nice. They work really well, sound really nice with the exhaust out there as well. And this still is one of my favorite steering wheels. The new one's a little bit more square in the center without this circle, but this is just such an iconic steering wheel to me. I kind of prefer it over the 2022 as well. But what I can't say is that I do prefer the 2022's interior general quality and the newer materials and the newer software and technology. I just wish that was like transplanted into this car, and I would 100% take the 2018 over the 2022 in a heartbeat, just because I like this car a little bit better personally. But again, that's my own opinion. I'll leave that, guys, up to you. Coming down to the center console, we do have our different drive mode selectors right here. So you can go from sport. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, just knocked you over a little bit. So from sport, you can go to comfort, I think Eco Pro, and I don't think there's a Sport Plus on this one. You do have a Sport Plus on this one as well, which is nice. You have a traction control button, parking sensors right here. If I pop the vehicle into reverse, I do have a backup camera with trajectory and some parking sensors as well. As you can see, it's going a little bit crazy right now. And then to go back into the park, you just press the park button as usual for BMWs. Really nice. As it is an older generation BMW, we don't have anything like wireless charging like that. We have a basic cruise control system, no heads-up display on this one either. And of course, the big thing is that this generation is rear-wheel drive only. The new 2022, which we'll get to go look at in a second, you can this one is an xDrive all-wheel drive, but you can also opt for it in rear-wheel drive as well. So you have 2 options there. And I haven't not been able to see one in rear-wheel drive yet. I'm not sure if they're exactly just out. But the xDrive all-wheel drive is definitely improves all-weather kind of conditions and acceleration. But I think for more fun, I would want to go for the rear-wheel drive version, like in this one. But here you have your center console. I really love this red leather on the interior. I think it looks really nice. And the seats are pretty comfortable as per usual. And we have a gigantic trailer coming by, as always in all my videos, unloading some new BMWs. I want to hop into the back seats right now in the 2018 to see how I fit in there. I'm just going to move my seat into like a comfortable driving position, I think. That seems pretty good. I am 6 foot 1 inches if you guys were curious. Let's see if I can fit back here, because in the new one, BMW claims it is now bigger so you could fit people back in there better. But from my last experience, it did not seem like that. So I'm just gonna pop the seat forward. And I have to manually do this. In the 2022, it does do it for you. So I'm gonna hop in. Oh boy. Okay, now I'm gonna push the seat back. I'm gonna use the button to push it back. Oh boy. Oh, okay. I think I fit better in this one than in the 2022. Yep, Throttle House is right. This one's better than the 2022. So I'll show you guys 1 second my headroom. Okay guys, I'm now in the back seats of the 2018 BMW 2 Series Coupe. I'm putting my head completely back, and it does hit the roof a little bit, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a cutout going on right here for your head, and I actually don't feel super cramped. My knees are hitting the seat a little bit, but I have a pretty decent amount of leg room. Center console, there is none. The centerpiece doesn't go down, but we do have a little storage tray down here. I have a side armrest over here. I don't know if you guys can see that right now. Side armrest over here. Seats aren't too upright. I feel pretty comfortable. It's a little bit of like a sculpted, scalloped area. And I can tell you right now, we're gonna go into the 2022. I think this is better. And that 2022 is bigger, longer, heavier, and BMW says they did that to kind of improve the rear seat room. I can tell you right now, it's not better. So let's go over to the 2022 and see how different that is. Okay guys, now to get out of the 2018 BMW 2 Series in the back, you just push this lever up. Hopefully your driver is not up there so they don't get stuck. If you want, you can move the seat up. I'll do that, and we'll hop right out. Okay, I'm just gonna put this seat back for now before we go back in, and to do that, you just push the button to move the seats back. We'll shut this one up for now. Awesome. Now let's hop over to the 2022. Now going into the 2022's interior already, you can see the door handles are different. You do have keyless access as well. And of course, I think you're able to use your phone to unlock the vehicle as well with like an NFC chip, which is kind of cool. So to unlock it, you just pull this open. The car is on as well. And before we check out the back seats, you can definitely see this is a newer BMW. And I do really like what they're doing with the door panels on this one. You don't get as much leather, of course, as kind of this piece. But you do get kind of like this textured pattern. And this one has the optional kind of M checkered pattern going on the sides. And these do illuminate at night, which I don't think they're on right now, but it's kind of cool. There's also, you can get like a cascading version that kind of blends in with the ambient lighting, which is kind of cool as well. Not sure how much I like this one too much. This one has the blue stitching and the black leather, which is really nice as well. Memory seats, the newer style BMW switchgear and everything, which is cool. This one also has the M side sill plates. Now these are just protected right now with the blue covering, so they're not actually blue. And I think we should hop right in. Okay guys, let me just turn the air down a little bit again. And as you can see, this is definitely a modern BMW interior. And what I mean by that is that it's pretty much the same interior we've seen in every modern BMW, from the 3 Series, the 4 Series, the 5 Series, all the SUVs, and so on. This is the newer BMW M Sport steering wheel, like I said before. I don't know how much I like this as much as compared to the 2018 we have over there. I do really prefer that steering wheel a lot better, but I have grown up this one a little bit more. The paddle shifters are a little bit nicer. It is much chunkier as well, and the buttons are a little bit easier to read, and you do have a little bit more options. And I do like this kind of stitched airbag cover as well. It's really nice. As I was saying before, I'm not a super big fan of these kind of hockey stick style gauge cluster. As you can see, when I rev it up, it goes in like this reverse order as well. Not the biggest fan of that either. Now these M side mirrors do kind of impede a little bit of visibility right there, but it's nothing too bad. They're still big and you have a nice side visibility, and we do have blind spot warning as well, which is a nice feature. Now coming down to the center console, and the general build quality and all the stuff in here is significantly better than the 2018. You do feel like you have a little bit more space in here as well. It doesn't feel as tight and cramped as the 2018 as well, which is kind of nice. We have down here, we can see we have the newer generation BMW kind of center console piece as well, with the newer generation iDrive controller. The smaller gear selector still operates in a pretty similar function. And we, of course, have all of our modes kind of laid out here instead of having one button to do that. So you can go through the modes. You'll see it on the iDrive system as well. And of course, you can configure an individual mode and kind of go through all the different settings and do that as well. So you have a little bit more customizability going through that. Of course, this one also has parking sensors. And if I pop it into reverse, we'll go unlock. You'll see we have backup cameras with trajectory as well, and the parking sensors, which are also beeping and are kind of annoying. Park it again. Awesome. So we can see we also have the newer BMW climate control system over here. It's pretty much the same stuff we've seen in the 3 and 2 Series as well, and the more slimmer iDrive controllers. I do like how this is laid out a lot more than the 2018, and of course we have the bigger iDrive screen as well. It is a nicer upgrade, and this one also has a heads-up display. If you guys can see that. Ooh, sorry guys, keep hitting the camera. Right there, as you can see, it's kind of flickering over there. And it's not super configurable, but it is nice to have your speed and a speed warning over there as well, which is not too bad. And the newer generation iDrive 8, it is giving you like augmented reality navigation, but that is only in select vehicles right now. This one also has pretty similar seats. They do feel a little bit bigger, not as tighter and as bolstered, I feel like, as the 2018, but this one is pretty nice. You have the blue stitching and the black leather, I think, that's going on here is really nice as well. Center console is a little bit bigger. You have a little bit of a bigger armrest size as well. It also has nice stitching on there. You have a more modern USB-C port as well. I'm not sure if this one has, yeah, this one has wireless charging and a USB port over here and 2 cup holders. So the wireless charging is another new feature, as this one does have wireless Apple CarPlay and I think Android Auto, I believe, as well now too. This one also has a panoramic sunroof. I don't know if that one does too. The 2018 does have a sunroof as well. Forgot to mention that. So right now I'm gonna put my seat into a comfortable driving position, and we're gonna try to hop into the back seats of the 2022. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean when I feel like it's not as comfortable as the 2018. Just get a really comfortable driving position. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get out of the car. Like I said, again, I am 6 foot 1 inches. Okay. And now to do this one, it is a little bit of an easier process as well. So you just pull the lever and the car is gonna move the seat up for you, so you don't have to do it manually as you did with the 2018. But I feel like the entry room to get in is a little bit tighter. Now the roof line is a little bit higher actually, so going in with your head isn't gonna be hurt as much. So we're in here, I'm gonna close the seat up. Now it's gonna move back automatically. Hopefully it'll detect my knees. Ow, it's not detecting my knees. Oh geez. Okay, this may just have been since I moved my seat, I think, up a little bit, but now you don't have the adjustability to move the seat up at all. So you're trapped back here unless there's a driver up there to fix it. So I could do that right now. Since I'm lucky, I'll just move the seat back up a little bit so I won't be too kind of unfair, but I feel like it is tighter in here and less comfortable than the 2018. Yes, you still have the armrest. Yes, you still have the center console. And yes, for once, you actually have a center console with armrests. And you have some air vents and USB-C ports and all the same stuff, right? I feel like I have less foot room. I feel like the seat is a little bit lower. Yes, I moved the seat lower, but I feel like I have less foot room, even like diagonally as well, or I mean horizontally. Knee room isn't too bad. I know you can move the seat up a little bit more, but it does feel a little bit more cramped. But the worst part is I have significantly less headroom than the 2018. How is that possible when the 2022 is longer, wider, bigger in like every single dimension, yet the back seats are 100%, and I'm confirming this now, smaller than the 2018, which is the smaller vehicle? I don't know. First of all, I cannot put my head completely back anymore. In the 2018, as I just showed you guys, I can put my head completely back. There's no scalloped out roof pieces. I'm not sure if that's because this one has the sunroof or not, or this is just how it is. I have not seen one without a sunroof yet, so I don't make any comments on that just yet, because I haven't been able to test that one because I haven't gotten the chance to be in one yet. But I can't put my head completely back. The headrest is still here, so I'm like stuck a little bit, as you guys can see. I definitely feel like the seats are more upright as well, so I'm kind of like sitting upright, kind of like in a tucked position more. And I can tell you right now, there's way less room for my left arm on this left side, or if you're in the right passenger, your right arm. It's more of like a sticking out piece, I guess, from the wheel arches or something. And I feel like I'm kind of like pressed on an angle as well. So if you want better rear seat room, and I'm telling you right now, you can actually get it in that 2018, go for the last generation 2 series, because this one is worse in the rear kind of like seating room department. And I think that's a little bit shocking, especially as BMW is touting this as a bigger vehicle, and I'm pretty sure they wanted these rear seats to have a little bit more room. But I can tell you right now, it's the front passenger and driver that are getting more of that room. Okay guys, so we're gonna get out of the rear seats of the 2022, and yes, it is an easier process because the seats do move up for you, but you do lose the ability for the rear passengers to kind of move the seats back and forward like you do in the 2018. Getting out actually is a little bit easier because the roof line is higher. When I was getting out the 2018, I was hitting my head and back on this a little bit. You can step out easier, but the general room in the back of the seats is smaller, which is ridiculous for a vehicle that is much bigger, which I honestly am a little bit disappointed by. Now, I think the big thing is pricing. So if you really want to get the 2022, you're looking around a starting price around $48,000, $49,000. This one as specified, and this one is pretty high specification with the upgraded headlights. Of course, you're in the M240i package as well. So you get a 6-cylinder engine, and if you want, there are a little bit more options. You could still get like a Shadowline package, the blackout, all the trim, including the kind of that bronze stuff. This one's is $55,000 right here as spec. Honestly, not that big of a price. It's either this or like a Supra, and they're pretty much the same engine under the hood. Well, they are the same engine under the hood. And of course, the N340i has this engine. The M440i, all the 40i BMWs have this engine as well. So it is a very popular engine in the BMW lineup, and it's a pretty reliable engine too, a pretty solid offering. This one, this 2018 version, these are actually starting to start trading pretty high. For low mileage examples, let me just double check to see how many miles this one has on the clock. I don't know if it says on the sticker right here, but again, this is a 2018 M240i. These ones are starting to go in the 30K range, actually, if you have a pretty decent mile ones. If you're lucky, you can find one in the high 20s. I'm going to double check to see what the price on this one, and I'll put it right here for you guys. But as you can see, yeah, these are pretty good offering. And as you've seen, if you don't like the styling of the 2018 and you don't need the new tech and the new styling, like I said before, I would go for the 2018 personally. You somehow, and I don't know how, you have a better rear headroom, better rear passenger room if you want to stuff people back there. I personally think the smaller size of the vehicle and the lower weight is more favorable to me, and I generally like the styling personally better than the 2022, even though if you want that crazy purple color, you can still get it, or unless you want to wrap the 2018. But there's a lot of different things you can do with these cars, of course, this modern day of customizability, so I wouldn't be too worried at what you pick. But if you need something like all-wheel drive, if you really want that, the faster acceleration, the little bit more power, the newer interior, the newer styling, the freshness of a new car, you can, of course, go for the 2022. And honestly, if you can get over the styling, if you get used to it over time, and trust me, you do get used to it over time, I would go for it. It is a really good car. The price isn't astronomically bad, but a safe, great option is this 2018, or at least the previous generation 2 Series in the M240i, or even M335i before they changed it to the 40i generation. Nameplate, these are great cars, should not be looked over, and I would definitely drive both of them if you're going to be looking at the two and see which one you like better. Just remember, if you want all-wheel drive, you can only get them in the 2022, and this one is rear-wheel drive only, but the rear-wheel drive versions of these are coming out soon. Very interested to see how they compare to the xDrive versions, as it might be a little bit more fun to have around a corner and stuff. So thank you guys for checking out this video, and a huge thanks once again to our friends over at BMW of Ridgefield for making this video possible. Check out them on their website below, and I believe this car is for sale here at BMW of Ridgefield over at the Ridgefield Collection. So I'll put a link down below. As long as it's still for sale, you guys can check that out. And again, don't look over these two cars. They are pretty great offerings. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for a lot more videos coming from Allcarnews very soon.